Some questions aren't meant to reveal the truth. They're meant to trap you. Liars don't always raise their voices. They lower your guard. They twist curiosity into guilt and cloak control as concern. You felt it before. That subtle tension in your chest. That flicker of doubt in your mind. A question that sounds innocent, but somehow feels wrong. And that feeling, that's your instinct warning you. Because real manipulators don't always come with obvious lies. They come with questions, crafted to confuse, distort, and dominate. But the Stoics knew better. They trained for this exact thing. In this video, we'll expose 6 deceptive questions liars ask, and show you how to respond like a Stoic, calm, clear, and completely unshaken. Let's begin. Question 1. Why are you being so sensitive? This isn't curiosity, it's camouflage. That question doesn't come from someone who wants to understand you. It comes from someone who wants to control the conversation and rewrite the story so they're the victim and you're the problem. It's not a question, it's an accusation wrapped in a whisper. Because when they say, "Why are you so sensitive?" what they really mean is, "You noticed something I hoped you wouldn't, and now I need you to feel guilty for it." It's emotional sleight of hand. They poke the bruise, then act surprised when you flinch. They want you to second guess your own perception, to feel like your emotions are flaws, not signals. But the Stoics taught that your awareness is a weapon, not a weakness. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And this is how liars weaponize that imagination. They create doubt, not through arguments, but through implications, subtle shame, social pressure, gaslight grenades. But you're not overreacting. You're noticing, and that, to a liar, is dangerous. Because the person who notices the cracks is the person who sees the truth before the whole thing shatters. How a Stoic responds. Don't defend. Don't flinch. Don't explain your feelings like they're crimes. Instead, pause. Hold eye contact and say, "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant. Are you uncomfortable with that?" 9 times out of 10, their mask slips. Because liars are ready for pushback, but they're not ready for stillness. They're not ready for someone who won't take the bait. Question 2. You trust me, right? It sounds harmless, maybe even sweet, but underneath, it's loaded with quiet pressure. This isn't about trust, it's about compliance. Liars don't ask this because they want connection. They ask it because they want control. This question isn't an invitation. It's a command in disguise. It tells you, ignore your instincts. Shut down your logic. Give me the benefit of the doubt, even if I haven't earned it. But trust, in Stoicism, is never blind. It's not given because someone asked for it. It's earned through consistency, through action. Epictetus wrote, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." That's exactly what this question blocks. It shames you out of learning. It wants you to stop asking, stop observing, stop thinking. Because liars know, the more questions you ask, the more their story falls apart. The Stoic response. When someone says, You trust me, right? Don't nod. Don't rush to reassure. Instead, hold still and respond calmly. Trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment? It's not an attack. It's not emotional. It's precision. And precision is deadly to manipulation because liars thrive in fog. They want you emotional, uncertain, off balance. But when you shine the cold light of Stoic detachment, they can't hide anymore. Question 3. Are you accusing me of something? It sounds defensive, but it's actually offensive, a psychological counterattack. This question isn't about clarity. It's about turning the spotlight around, from them to you. Because when a liar senses suspicion, they don't explain. They flip the frame. Suddenly, you're the aggressor. You're on the defensive. And now, instead of following your instincts, you're apologizing for having them. This tactic isn't about resolving tension. It's about evading responsibility. And it works if you're not grounded. What the Stoics understood. The Stoics never let emotion dictate their response. They didn't argue in panic or react to guilt. They practiced something deeper, stillness in the face of pressure. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake, I will gladly change, for it is the truth I seek." But a liar doesn't want truth. They want control over perception. So when they ask, "Are you accusing me?" they're not looking for honesty. They're hoping to intimidate you into silence. The Stoic response. Don't defend. Don't backpedal. Instead, hold the line. Pause for 2 to 3 seconds. Let the silence do the heavy lifting. Then say, "Should I be?" That single question, asked calmly, shatters their entire strategy. Because they were expecting emotion, not poise. And nothing rattles a liar like a person who refuses to flinch. Question 4. Would I ever lie to you? It sounds rhetorical, even comforting, but it's not meant to reassure you. It's meant to disarm you, because no one asks this unless they already feel the walls closing in. It's a desperate pivot, away from evidence and toward emotional theater. This question paints them as noble, innocent, shocked you'd even ask, but beneath the surface, it's a form of emotional coercion. They want you to feel guilty for doubting, to question your suspicion, not their behavior. The Stoic perspective. The Stoics never placed their trust in appearances. They looked for virtue in action, not declarations of innocence. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste what remains of your life speculating about others. It hinders your understanding of what is." This question is pure speculation. It invites you to imagine how honest they are, instead of observing how honest they've been. It's a fog machine designed to cloud judgment. The Stoic response. When someone stares at you and says, "Would I ever lie to you?" don't answer their question. Ask your own. Say, "That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did?" This flips the frame entirely. It removes the performance and replaces it with clarity. Because liars operate in shadows. But Stoics, they carry a mirror and a torch. Question 5. Can't we just move on from this? It sounds reasonable, calm, maybe even mature, but make no mistake, this isn't closure, it's evasion. Liars use this line when the truth gets too close, when the questions get sharper, when the inconsistencies start to pile up. They don't want resolution. They want relief from your clarity. They're not tired because the conflict is old. They're tired because the mask is slipping and you haven't stopped watching. This tactic isn't meant to solve the problem. It's meant to wear you down, because if they can make you feel like the one holding onto negativity, they win. The Stoic frame. Marcus Aurelius warned, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Liars hate that kind of firmness. They prefer ambiguity, fatigue, silence. But the Stoic knows truth doesn't have a deadline, and justice doesn't expire because someone gets uncomfortable. The Stoic response. When someone says, "Can't we just move on?" Pause. Don't rush. Don't engage emotionally. Anchor yourself. Then respond, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." No anger, no blame, just unshakable clarity. Because clarity is power. And when you refuse to be rushed, you take that power back. Question 6. Why are you making this such a big deal? It sounds dismissive, casual, even playful, but it's not a question. It's a verdict. And the sentence is, your concerns aren't valid. This is the liar's minimization tactic, their final attempt to shrink the conversation, to turn your clarity into drama, to make your logic feel excessive, your intuition feel like paranoia. It's not about solving the issue. It's about shrinking your voice. Because when you start asking real questions, when your standards rise, when your boundaries sharpen, a liar's last hope is to convince you you're overreacting. The Stoic insight. The Stoics never measured situations by how big or small they were. They measured them by whether they were true, just, or wise. Epictetus reminds us, it's not events themselves that disturb us, but our judgments about them. And this is what the liar attacks, your judgment. They don't want you to trust it. They want you to outsource it to them. But a Stoic never outsources awareness. A Stoic trusts his reason more than someone else's reassurance. The Stoic response. So when they say, "Why are you making this such a big deal?" you don't debate, you don't shrink, you don't explain yourself like you've committed a crime. Instead, say, "It's a big deal to me. Are you saying it shouldn't be?" That stops them cold, because now they're faced with a decision. Either dismiss you outright, or confront the truth they were trying to bury. And liars hate both. Reflection. The Stoic warning. Liars don't just lie with words. They lie with questions. Questions that sound harmless, casual, even caring. But every one of them is a move on the chessboard, not to understand you, but to control you. They twist your perception until you become the villain for noticing the plot holes, until asking for clarity becomes too much. until having standards makes you cold, until your boundaries feel like burdens. But let's be clear, you are not broken for wanting truth. You are not paranoid for paying attention. You are not the problem for being awake. The Stoics didn't seek comfort. They sought clarity. They didn't run from the fog. They walked straight through it, eyes open, because they knew something liars fear. A man who sees clearly cannot be controlled. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't flinch under pressure. He doesn't crumble under doubt. He listens. He observes. And then he decides. So when the questions come, and they will, don't react. Don't explain. Don't rush to reassure. Pause. Think like Marcus Aurelius. Speak like Epictetus. Hold the line like Seneca. Because the moment you stop seeking to be understood and start seeking only what is true, you become dangerous. The next time someone asks you a question that feels off, don't answer right away. Run a mental drill, quiet, sharp, stoic. Ask yourself, is this question seeking truth or obedience? Would Marcus tolerate this? What happens if I say nothing at all? And then listen closely, not to their words, but to who gets uncomfortable when you stay silent. Because that's silence. That's where the truth lives. And most people can't stand the sound of it. Subscribe for more Stoic strategies, tools for the mind, armor for the soul.